I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. Oh, I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want. I wanna, heebity-badoo-badabba-dee-ba-do-bo. If you wanna be my lover. Oh, hey there. Nice of you folks at home to drop in. Hey, while I got you here, let's discuss a little social injustices I'm going to be doing for the remainder of my life. Hey, here's the letter I wrote on the 30th of December, in the year of our Lord 2020, to the Omaha FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation's Omaha Precinct. I'm writing you again with the utmost concern and integrity regarding a long ongoing situation of corruption that began in your jurisdiction and has carried over therefrom, greatly affecting the quality of life, privacy, and rights of not only myself, but my children as well. It is a well-known and widespread matter within your community. Due to the severity and longevity of the matter, I have and continue to suffer many emotional, physical, financial, personal, and family damages, leaving myself without American constitutional and civil rights. As I have described in context prior, it stemmed from the self-preservation of others, following an unlawful termination with the state of Iowa and misconduct of an Iowa police department, which, as you are aware of, has carried over to other departments, jeopardizing not only my rights and self-worth, but their integrity. Failing to police one another, holding themselves to the oath that they once swore to while placing their hand on a Bible and raising the other in the presence of our beloved American flag, respecting an individual's privacy, ensuring their safety and security, respecting the Constitution and rule of law are all crucial in this professional line of work, and the key fundamentals in which they are warranted a paycheck, all of which have been violated in my last 6 years, while battling oppressors for my rights and family. Two things an American should never have to thrive for or dream of. These individuals have relentlessly intruded upon my residences and roommates, churches, through pastors, counselors, places of employment, and even gyms, networking between state, police, and public for surveillance, entrapment, coercion, privacy violations, defamation, and just a place to place a presence upon myself to maliciously inflict emotional distress, which I assure you, after years of continuous efforts, they have. The electronic intrusion for audio surveillance through my cellular device alone has caused a distress beyond explanation, allowing those involved with the malicious activity and environmental engineering taking place to not only follow me, but at times precede me. In 2016, there was a woman placed into my life by the police for the sole purpose of setting me up. Was admitted by her. She then stated that people had discovered the pain, sufferings, and injustices that my family and I had suffered, the reasons and people behind them. The local police were now trying to get me to pop, she then stated. I wish I could say that was the only occurrence of this nature, but it surely wasn't and is not. It has continued daily for years now within the jurisdiction of the Omaha Federal Bureau of Investigations. This activity will continue until it is stopped by leadership at some level. I have had to leave my family and home now twice due to the continued harassment and injustices. The first time was simply a continuance of the Omaha misconduct by their fellow officers in another state, leaving myself in complete disbelief of the networking of misconduct. Truth. This time, however, I will not return to the Omaha area or my family, ever. Chief Schmader of the Omaha Police Department has had the department harass me for the last 3 years, all in efforts of oppressing and silencing my experiences, which have been hell on earth in all absolute opposite of what our founding fathers had intended. Excuse me. This was a matter that should have simply and swiftly been handled for my children and way of life. It was about restoration of what was a good, love-filled life for my children, where I was able to provide for them with the love, safety, and security needed in a very uncertain environment, fulfilling my fatherly duties as the sole provider and caretaker for them. All it would have required was the respect of my sixth constitutional right, which is specifically in place to prohibit the emotional damages and frustrations after an American family suffers a detrimental injustice, or in this case, a series of unlawful actions. If constitutional rights, due process, and the rule of law were respected from the beginning and anywhere therein, I would not be writing this in attempts to have family and rights restored. I would be full-hearted knowing that my kids were safe and my life was respected just as any other of my country's men and women. It took myself nearly 3 years of abuse, harassment, intimidation, and oppression by local police before I finally had enough courage to contact the Omaha Police Department, or Omaha Federal Bureau of Investigations in 2018. I have now contacted the Omaha FBI 37 times, whether it be via telephonic communications, website submissions under submit a tip, or emailing you directly at omaha@fbi.gov, as I am doing with this contact on December 30th in the year of our Lord 2020. I have yet to be rendered a single response in a matter that is now a nationally known corruption case of civil liberties and constitutional rights, leaving myself at the hands of those whom harass and oppress, freely relaying defamation, slander, falsifications, coercion, and altered truths as a political ploy and tool in order to obstruct justice. All of which I could discredit, explain, or even reverse using the same character witnesses used against me for me. For I know my true self, heart, and character that I have worked very hard on for very long in order to remain a leader, knowing what to learn, unlearn, leave, and take. Truly understanding the human growth and development process that we must undergo in order to reach our potential, which was especially hard and painful coming from the upbringing that I had endured. For this work to be questioned, torn down, and even regress in times of pain caused by this series of unlawful events is not only damaging to one's family, rights, and worth, but the reason for much emotional distress intentionally, maliciously, and illegally placed upon myself. Only those with the authority over those with authority and rich in leadership can put an end to the suffering stemming from the Omaha and surrounding areas police departments, the state of Iowa, and the misinformed public. The harassing tactics and techniques have followed me and become far too accepted by myself. One solid investigation where the FBI properly used their authority would reveal all, notifying those in a position that may have warranted unlawful commands of the repercussions of falsifying statements or withholding information from a federal agent. As I have suggested before, I could spend a week in a van with agents going from location to location. Within 1 week, we would have it open and shut. Initiation of violations, the process and continuance thereof, those involved, locations, tactics, techniques, severity, longevity, damages, and restoration needed to heal. It's a complex situation with either a simple or complex solution. Please read and review some of these truths in my book, Used, Amused, and Abused, available in the Amazon Kindle Direct store. My heart, intentions, and belief in our country are true. I will continue my campaign of righteousness and accountability for my children. It will only cease the day that my family is made whole or the day that I stop loving my country and children. Until then, for myself, family, and the people, I will be an example of consistency and perseverance with hopes of demonstrating that an American can overcome, conquer judgment, oppression, and corruption with truth, God, and Constitution, three of the greatest fundamentals of our country. God bless those within the Bureau, your preservation of the Constitution and rights of the American individual against the will of the oppressive and even misdirected masses, ensuring that the rule of law put in place to keep those who govern within parameters of powers is rightfully upheld as not to restrict an American of their freedom, safety, and security. Blessed be the good fight. Godspeed. Respectfully, Rudy J. Camarillo. Now, as I said, 2021's a different year. For the last 6 years, I've been silent. My family's been destroyed. I will not lose another year with my children. There needs to be restoration so we can pursue healing and closure. This has been long ongoing. Everybody at home knows about the corruption, even if they've taken part in it. You know what I'm saying? You're all forgiven. Like on a love, God, human level, you're all forgiven. But on, a human man's law level, there needs to be accountability. I mean, it is far more paramount that we hold these police that have done this, that have done the harassment, intimidation, threatening of life, all this for years, daily. Omaha Police Department did it for days, in and day out, for 3 years consistently. I couldn't even fight for my children because they were violating my privacy so hard. I don't want my 13-year-old daughter or my 11-year-old daughter around illegal surveillance. You know what kind of creeps are on the other end of that? Me neither. I mean, Chief Schmader of the Omaha Police Department, he took part in this, looking out for Glenwood, Iowa, a corrupt police department that had been busted down on. in the state of Iowa. It was all self-preservation. Then they did some political ploys, defamation, didn't respect my sixth constitutional right, and let me defend myself, which is absolutely un-American. And there's plenty of emotional distress that comes through that. Now, Chief Smader of the Omaha Police Department can say either I didn't know about it, which means for 3 years, every day your police department is operating against your knowledge, you need to be posted. Or you knew about it and you were negligent in the matter, which means you need to get posted. Or, God forbid, you supported the corruption and conspiring and harassment, which means you absolutely need a new job. Now, for the Omaha FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, not to do anything. I understand they drink coffee and they fraternize with these guys. They're all buddy, and everybody's played a little middle school game of hearsay without respecting my sixth constitutional right to defend myself, which I would absolutely love to, because all these using defamation, I know my character. I will take every one of their negatives out of the same mouth, the same soul. I will get you 10 positives. I know who I am. I know the work I've done throughout this life, and I know the work I'm going to do in this life. I'm going to fight against this injustice. This is social injustice at the highest of levels, man. They just threw defamation at a billboard where it kind of stuck, but then if I had different appearances, light hair, light skin, no tattoos, stuff like that, they'd be seeing character, right? My family would have been restored. My worth would have been put back in place. Now, for the state police and public to take part in this and the FBI not to do anything about it is absolutely, that's gross negligence at the highest of levels and maliciousness. I understand I'm tough. I understand I made sacrifices for my country, but my children are not in a position to be tough or make sacrifices, especially after the last 6 years. Now, there's been so much damage done, something has to be restored. If I was restored today, I'd have to get my children in counseling because of the police and state's misconduct and the environment they've left them in, and circumstances and emotional distress until they're 18. And that's if people put down their pride, follow God's truth, in our American Constitution, follow policy procedure. Should I have to fight so hard for those to be honored? We're living in a day where the Constitution, rule of law, due process, policy, procedure, even morals and ethics are all absent in the name of preservation. And it's absolutely ludicrous. That's not what I fought for my country for. I missed the first 11 months of my daughter's life, locking and loading, stepping outside the wire, each day willing to give my life for my future Constitution rights and the safety, security of my children, which has all been jeopardized. And I'll be damned if the fine men and women of our country that gave their lives for that have their graves spit on because of this. I've got some people up there really rooting and tooting for me, because I'm all heart and I'm about the people. And we need to get this handled. As I said, 2021's a new year. Silence has just enabled sin and preserved those that have maliciously been abusive. And I don't owe loyalty or silence to anybody. I owe loyalty and advocation to my children. That's it. I'm already living with 6 years of regret for not standing up for us harder and allowing individuals in a place of authority to do as they've done. I'm done being silent about it. You guys know about it. Read Used, Abused, and Amused, The Story of a Warrior of This World. It's out on Amazon. I'm going to put it on some other websites, and I got 2 other books going. One's a 365 daily read, which actually I read a book similar to it in 2016, 2017 as I was struggling and being harassed each and every day, and it really helped me. So I'm writing it as a form of giving back to the people in the community. Now, as far as social justice goes, I'm standing up for myself, and we're going to get something done. One of my biggest fears is knowing that this could happen to another man, another woman, another child. And one of my biggest pains is knowing that it probably has before. They just unfortunately picked a needle out of a haystack when it came to me and my rights and my family. It's a fight that I'll stay in, because that's what the good fight's about. Now, you have a blessed new year. Advocates, get at me. I'm going to go, once again, try rebuilding life. I'm here in a hotel. It costs a lot of money going place to place just to avoid corruption and harassment. But you know what I'm going to do? I'm following God's plan. And I'm going to get out there, I'm going to put in some work, and I'm going to get her done. And that don't mean I'm putting this justice to the wayside. I'm just going to be more open about it throughout the year. And I pray to God that maybe some good American people stand up and join the good fight and go through, the defamation stuff with an unbiased mind. That's how you see truth, man. And I got it all. I wouldn't be sitting here 6 years later still spouting if I wasn't the truth. So God bless you all. God bless the people. God bless the authority that made me struggle, man. It made me way stronger. But just like you placed a bunch of accountability on me, you threw laundry on the street that didn't even fit, man. That's the importance of our sixth constitutional right. But you don't want to wear that laundry of your own? I mean, I got this saying I came up with. As I dance with my skeletons, you squeeze your closet keys. Nobody's clean in this country, man. And I'm not as dirty as they made me out to be. But we really need to cleanse the system and have some accountability. I fear that the police that have been up to this in Omaha, think about it. There's been rookies that have came into this 3 years ago, and all they know is corruption. How is their leadership, their corporal sergeants, lieutenants, captains, chief, how are they going to reprimand them for doing something corrupt or violating rights in the future when they can just turn around and say, well, you had me do this in 2017, 18, 19, 20 to Mr. Camarillo. They can't reprimand them. That's why accountability is paramount. You got to think about the butterfly effect. You got to think about things going forward. We need change in this country, man. God bless good law enforcement out there. God bless the respectful ones, the ones that stand for rights and stuff like that. I mean, God bless you. You're doing a very valiant job, good job. Make it home safe to your kids, man. Don't take nothing personal. It's professional. You know what I'm saying? And with these guys I'm dealing with, I mean, it's beyond personal because they made it that way. They were the dirty ones. I was the clean one, man. And they tried. That's why we need a sixth constitutional right respecting courtroom. Anyways, God bless the American people. God bless you in your new year. I'm spouting the truth. You know, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. I think my children, my Constitution are two damn good things to fight for. And the children and Constitution of others, which I've always said, the only way I could justify this pain is to make it others' gain. Now we're just working out a way to get there. God put me through this for a reason, man. Let's cleanse the system, restoration, strengthen the good fight, and get it on. I mean, life's short, man. It is what it is. You better embrace it every damn day. And love who you are. Love your family. Love your country. God bless. Have a great day.